Hello.
Hello.
Hi, hi.
Good afternoon or evening.
Good afternoon or evening. Hard to tell when it gets dark this early, isn't it?
Yep.
Not used to it yet.
I know. Me neither. Let's see here. How is everybody?
Doing all right?
Yep.
We'll take all right.
Yep.
Yep.
We're keeping the bandage on the forehead under control.
Good. How are you feeling, Paul?
Oh, pretty good, really.
Good.
We managed to get outside and mess around in the yard a bit this afternoon.
Nice.
Got a little more ready for winter.
You got to put it all to bed.
Yeah.
Without putting yourself to bed.
Right.
Hey, Ellen.
Hi there.
Just a little bit.
Okay. Well, should we jump on in? Okay. Ellen, how are you
Yes.
today? Can we start with you?
Well, you sure can.
Okay.
I'm on my phone, so I'm just trying to see where the mute my thing is, my mic thing. Okay, I found it. Yeah, so how's everybody?
Doing pretty well. How about you?
Doing well, thank you.
Good.
A little sleepy. I almost fell asleep there before my little buzzer went off, told me it's time to sign on. So oh my gosh, no, things are going well. I actually had a doc appointment in labs on Friday and everything is good. So that's good. So yeah, so we're happy about that. So
Wonderful.
yeah,
Congratulations on another thumbs up doctor's appointment. It's
yes,
incredible.
absolutely. So yeah, so it's good. So yeah. So other than that, I can't think of anything. Hi, honey, I'm on my prayer meeting.
Oh, excuse me.
Oh, Charlie says, excuse me. Oh dear. So we were just talking about getting maybe doing putting Christmas lights out tomorrow. Because I think it's supposed to be a little milder too. So
If it's not too wet.
right. Oh, okay. Yeah. So we'll see. Oh my
Hard to
gosh.
believe we're at that time already, isn't it?
I know. But Thanksgiving's just, what, 8-9 days away. So yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, but that's about it. Just again, prayers for those in the medical profession, nurses and doctors and lab technicians and all the people who do such a wonderful job and how hard it is, for them. So
Absolutely. Thank you, Ellen.
oh, you're welcome.
All right, if I go around the circle on my screen, I see Cynthia next. Cynthia, how are you?
I'm doing okay. Yeah, just kind of the bittersweet joy of this past weekend. I meant to reach out to you, Emily, and make sure that you're doing okay. Because your sermon the whole weekend, it was absolutely beautiful. It was extremely bittersweet. I knew I'd probably cry, but then when I saw Amazing Grace, I said, oh yeah. I cry every time I sing it. But it was absolutely beautiful and very, very bittersweet. I told Graham at the end of the service, I felt like I don't know who's seen the Pixar movie Inside Out at all. If you haven't, it's for kids, but it's fantastic. It's so good. And it's about emotions. And one of the ends is that it's okay to feel joy and sadness at the same time. And that's pretty much exactly how I felt at the end of it. So, but it was absolutely beautiful. And I also got an orchestra concert in there as well on Saturday, which was the first big orchestra concert in about a year and a half. I mean, we've had other ones, maybe the audience has been bigger or it's been outside, but the orchestra itself had to be limited to 40 people. And this last concert, I think there were almost 70. So, I mean, it was the big full-size orchestra again. So that was incredible. And then just prayer request and everything. My friend Iris had been on the prayer list a while ago she was going through breast cancer, and she had a follow-up and there is no cancer. And she said, thanks be to God for that. It was a whirlwind of a year, but so hopefully now she can kind of take care of herself too. She's had a rough year. She actually was Lenny, our friend's one of his primary caregivers. So that is how I know her. So add that to everything. But yeah, she was very, very happy to be going and receive such a good doctor's report. So that's wonderful. And then I will not say her name, but I have a really, really dear friend of mine who's just going through a hard time. I don't even know all the particulars, but God knows some, and she just needs a lot of prayers.
Absolutely. Thanks, Cynthia. And incredible news about Iris. That's wow. Yay. Thank you. Joe and Paul, how are the two of you?
Doing well, I think.
Yeah.
Looking forward to our trip tomorrow over to Kalamazoo to see our granddaughter and watch and listen to her play the pans. And an additional joy is that my cousin and her husband that live a ways north of Kalamazoo in Michigan at Big Rapids heard that we were going over there and heard that this was occurring and decided to come down as well. So we'll see them, and haven't seen them in
4 or 5 years.
quite a while. So that's an extra joy.
Definitely. That's great.
Well, I started real physical therapy today in preparation for the knee surgery in January. I decided it would be smart to do some strengthening and some work on the knee before the surgery. And I saw the same therapist that I worked with back last winter when I thought I was going to be having the surgery in the summer. And I had some bursitis in my hips and whatever. And he's intense. It's not always comfortable working with him, but you come out feeling so much better. I go in pain and I come out after the pain he's inflicted feeling better. And he worked my knee today in a way that I was absolutely stunned with the areas around it that are so tight and needing his massage. It was, I will use the word brutal. And he said, I'm going to be tougher next time. But I limped going into my session and I walked out feeling much more comfortable. So in a roundabout way, I'm looking forward to working with him.
Mm-hmm.
And he was very supportive and excited about the fact that I was looking for the therapy before the surgery. He's this good idea. And he said, we're going to go back to the hips as well. And oh boy, I'm really going to get worked over because the whole system is all connected, of course. And anyway, so that's a concern and a joy, kind of a mixed sort of thing. I'm glad to be doing it, but it's a challenge. So And then looking forward to seeing our granddaughter and hearing her concert. Her class this semester has been in rhythms, and that has had her playing the steel pans. And I fell in love with the pans when we did the Caribbean Mass the first time. I was not familiar with them, and I learned about them. And that first time we did it, I just went head over heels in love with that instrument and those instruments and what you can do with them. So when she said she was taking this rhythm class and she was going to be doing the pans, I begged her to let us know if they were going to have a concert. And I begged her to invite us if they were, and if that's what's working out, and we'll have that experience tomorrow night. So that's very exciting.
Absolutely. That'll be wonderful.
So yeah, the little on the back page prayer request for safe travels.
Absolutely.
The weather is not supposed to be very nice tomorrow, and we're probably going to be following the rain east. It's supposed to come here and then move east. Well, we're going to be driving right with it or into it. But anyway.
Okay.
It'll be worth it.
That's right.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Well, thank you both, and safe travels tomorrow.
I think that's it from here.
Okay.
Got Paul not bleeding anymore, and we made a second trip to the emergency room on Sunday night, but it started bleeding in the evening, and we weren't sure about things, so we went back and they reassured us that everything was okay. So
good. Better to check and be sure.
Absolutely.
Yep.
But no more blood since then.
Thank you. Kyle, how are you?
I'm doing good, I guess.
Yeah.
Very stressed out with like class work and on my own, and then work as well. And a few weeks ago, my mom fell at a grandma's house and she's still limping.
Okay.
So I'm worried about her. I keep trying to get her to go to like a patient first or something, but she doesn't want to go.
Okay. Well, we'll pray that she can heal up quickly. Thanks, Kyle.
Mm-hmm.
Larry and Barbara, how are the two of you?
Running late.
For shame.
But I'm here.
Well, I want to just say, kind of follow on Cynthia's tale about how wonderful that this past week has been and how thankful we are that you and Eric and the rest of the staff, all that it took to make all that happen. My only thing is, it could be skewed, is I wish there had been more people there, and maybe they were all online, but you know, the choir, everybody put so much effort into that to make it be such a heartfelt, uplifting, everything. I really appreciate all that you guys did. We were so looking forward to it. I'm sorry that I wasn't there in person on Saturday, but there were reasons for that. But anyway, thank you.
Yeah.
Over to you.
I'm good.
And I guess I would ask, we're going to be heading out next Tuesday morning for our long trip first to Utah and then onward from there. So just want a safe trip, an easy trip. No snow, ice, and all that kind of stuff. Kind of trip. Pray for that.
Absolutely. Yeah. There is somewhere we haven't edited it together yet, Barbara, but there is a recording of the Saturday workshop. So we will, it's not available just yet, but we will have that to offer. We do think that we lost maybe the first 20 minutes of Saturday morning when the internet crashed. I'm not sure that we were recording, but most of the day is preserved. So if and as you have time, there will be opportunity to go back to that. But
Yeah,
It was excellent.
I got the best experience of was right after lunch.
Yeah.
Those couple of hours, and that was really, really very, very helpful. So,
I'm so glad.
and then
Yeah.
it kind of dissolved again.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm grateful to know that you all found something this weekend, that there was use. And thank you for welcoming Dow in all of the ways that you did. He's just he's such a presence in my formation. And so to be able to share him with you was really special for me personally. And he was also, I'll just share, he was moved by the weekend too. So thank you for letting him into our spaces in the way that you did. And there is no end to the list of people that we should be thanking for making this past weekend happen. I mean, Anne planning the music, the musicians making it happen. Poor Eric up in the technology booth on Saturday trying to make it happen when things were falling apart. I mean, there were just so many behind the scenes folks. So I will pass your gratitude on to everyone that I can. But I'm so glad that the weekend went as it did, and that I think good is still the right word. I think it was a good weekend, as hard as some of the moments were. You know, for me, I was amazed at the service on Sunday night. I knew that I would find that bell ringing difficult, and I did. I cried my eyes out. I was thankful I was behind that banner because I was sobbing up on our chancel. And then there was another part of me that thought, when, you know, the bells rang and rang and rang, and then they stopped, and I thought, oh, we're done. And I didn't want that part to be over. So I hope that we will continue to do the work of grieving and grieving well and being attentive to it, because as proud as I am that we gave a weekend to it, we all know, maybe better now than we did before, that there will be more time required of us. But thank you all for your presence and participation, and again for opening yourselves up in all the ways that you did. It was beautiful. From the wider congregation, most of the prayers that I have on my pastoral prayer list echo the prayers from Cynthia, which is to say, I have people on my list who I cannot name. But there are folks in our community and on the periphery of it who are hurting for reasons big and small, but the hurt is all the same. So just hold your church family in your prayers. And like Cynthia said, we can trust God to know who it is. I will say Sue Puplo is through her surgery to have the kidney stone removed, and that surgery went well. So she's in recovery, and that's great news. We're very glad for that. And I think I saw, Wendy's with us on Facebook, and she says, hello, fine people. I love her comment. This is so, I'm going to read the whole thing because it's so honest and Wendy. This unshowered, stressed out gal is grateful for courage, support, acceptance, and our beautiful church. Please pray for all those who need to be reminded that this too shall pass. So Wendy, that's perfect and beautiful. And thank you for that. She also, just because, again, this was not my weekend, this was the church's weekend, she says, oh, and thank you for a beautiful grief workshop, all saint service, and community grief service, and Dow is amazing. And I agree, he is amazing. So, so again, gratitude all around for everyone who had a part in what we did together. Having come fresh off the heels of our grieving together weekend, I am still in the midst of this book that I love. Jan Richards writes Blessings, and they're beautiful. And this one is her book all about blessings for grief. It's called The Cure for Sorrow. And because I was thinking so much about Lazarus these past few weeks, getting ready for the service Sunday afternoon, this one is just in my heart and on my brain. So this is going to be most of our prayer, and then we'll do a teeny tiny Emily prayer and we'll close. But this is called A Blessing for the Raising of the Dead. And it's just lovely. So here's our blessing from Jan Richardson. This blessing does not claim to raise the dead. It is not so audacious as that. But be sure, it can come and find you if you think yourself beyond all hope, beyond all remedy. If you have laid your bones down in your exhaustion and grief, willing yourself numb. This blessing knows its way through death, knows the paths that weave through decay and dust. And while this blessing does not have the power to raise you, it knows how to reach you. It will come to you, sit down beside you, look you in the eye, and ask you if you want to live. It has no illusions. This blessing knows it is an awful grace to be returned to this world. Just ask Lazarus or the Shunammite son, go to Nain and ask the widow's boy whether he had to think twice about leaving the quiet and the stillness, whether he hesitated for a moment before abandoning the place where nothing could harm or disturb. Ask the risen if that gave them pause to choose this life, not as one thrust into it like a babe, unknowing, unasking, but this time with intent, with desire. Ask them how it feels to claim this living, this waking, to welcome the breath into your lungs and the blood into your veins, to gladly consent to hold in your chest the beating heart of this broken and dazzling world. God, we come to you today grateful that we woke up and put our boots on, that this day we were given the chance to choose life. We ask that as our hearts do indeed fill with all the pains and the precious beauty of this broken, dazzling world, that you would be with us. Bless us in our upcoming travels. Bless us in Thanksgiving celebrations to come. Bless us in all that we do. Keep us safe. Bring us back to one another again and again and again. And always, God, bring us back to you. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you.
All right, friends, I will plan to host this meeting next week. I know it's Thanksgiving week, but it's online. We can do it from our kitchen. So I will be here if you are with family traveling. It's all right. And I'll just plan to see you the next time around. But I'll be here and open the space just in case. All right.
Night,
Take
everybody.
care. Have a great week.
All right. Have a good week. Take care.
Take
Bye,
care.
everybody.